Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all over the world. Sport lovers, particularly soccer and football lovers, as some will know it, you must be having a great time with Afcon 2025, just like I have. It's been down to four. Now, the big boys are home, the bigger boys. The bigger boys are here. It's been great. It's Redeem Sports at the King's Palace Television once again, and we're here to review the semi-final, matches. Atlas Lions of Morocco versus Nigeria, and then we're going to have Senegal versus Egypt. The two matches playing on Wednesday, the 14th of January. It's going to be great. I mean, I can't wait for the kickoff. My name is Tony Badram, your host. I'm not alone here. My co-host, as usual, is here, Dimeji Oli. Welcome.
Yes, thank you today. Very excited.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So tell me about the quarterfinal. It's right, the last two matches.
Yes, the last two matches were great. But if it's okay, let's start with predictions. Let's start with predictions. Before we introduce our guest on the set, Tony, you did say Nigeria was going to beat Algeria 3-1.
3-1. That's not bad. That's 2 goals margin. Yeah, it was 2-0.
I remember saying they were going to win 2-1. So you were more right than I was. But I think, they have been electrifying. I mean, the Super Eagles, fortunately, Algeria didn't come to work prepared. The Super Eagles were just amazing. A ton of opportunities. You and I had conversations right after the game, or even during the game. I think at some point I was watching. Yeah, it was me and you. And, we lost a ton of, at least 2 goals. We should have been by additional original goals. But hey, we'll take the win. The Super Eagles, they're doing great. The competition keeps getting interesting over time. So
Absolutely. Well, the Images said it right. It would have been probably 4 goals or 5 goals. I mean, Akwa Adams alone could have had a trick on the day. But like you said, hey, not only did they win 2-0, but they outclassed Algeria in every segment. I actually thought Algeria came to the party. They just met a bigger boy, on the day. Well, usual suspect is here. We always love to have Yemi Ajayi in the studio. Thank you once again for coming. Well, the you was talking about prediction earlier, right? We'll come back to you in a minute. But of course, when people have been here with us a couple of times in the past, but he's here again, to review the semi-final matches with us. Femi, yeah, welcome to the studio.
Thank you for.
All right, Yemi, you and I said 3-1. What do you think about the match, particularly the Nigeria-Algeria match?
I mean, it was the best game that we've played in this competition by far. It was an utter domination. From the beginning to the end, we dominated them, we battered them. I didn't think it was going to be that straightforward. It was a straightforward competition. All of our players played well. Right back, left back, center back, central midfield, everybody had, they contributed. And then we could see the skill and the tactics and everything working. We just suffocated them in midfield. We jumped them early. We didn't allow them play out from the back. And it was just a total domination.
Absolutely. I mean, Femi, I'm sure you saw the match as well and the drama after the match. Or what would you make of the drama after the match? I mean, I was disappointed in the Algeria, players and fans attempting to, beat the referee, and I mean, that was ugly. Yeah,
it was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, they went into the tunnel with the referee. Like, the game's the game.
Yeah,
he made a decision, and you have to abide by it. But it was quite unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, enough on the quarterfinal matches, because now we are down to 4. Is there anyone in these last 4 that shouldn't be here? Or is there someone that is home that should be there?
If you watch the games like I did, if there's a team that maybe shouldn't be here, it's Egypt. But they just have a way of winning. They worked. That team reminds me of Argentina's team that played in the World Cup.
They lost to Saudi Arabia only to win the World Cup or something.
Yeah. But if you watch out the way they coach this and set up that team, they set up the team to get the best out of Messi. But now he's setting up the team to get out the best out of
Mo Salah,
Mo Salah, and Mahmoud.
Namush.
So everybody else plays for them too. It's like we will defend all we want. You just win us the games. And that is what he's done. You are seeing Salah. He has the freedom to move anywhere to affect the game. Marmoush is playing like this Alvarez, doing all the runs, the pressing, the drop back, the linking up play from midfield to attack. So yeah, but man, that's a very, very big dark horse because everybody knows their role. It's like they understand the assignment and they work for each other.
Yeah.
So this.
Well, imagine, look, Morocco will have the fans, the Moroccans in the stadium behind them. It will be about 70,000, screaming and yelling down, the Super Eagles. We've not seen, the passion of North Americans like we have seen in this tournament. Will that, affect the Super Eagles in any way as they go into this challenge? Because playing the host will not be simple, particularly a passionate Moroccan side. Remember that the female team of Nigeria beat Morocco in the female edition of it just a couple of months ago. What do we expect from the fans, and will that be a big issue or problem for Nigeria to handle?
Yeah, I think we were at, just a playback. I think we were in Nigeria when
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
when you give up on.
That's true. I slept. Because seriously, I've heard them that before. I mean, Moroccan ladies were leading 2-0 first half. I just said, look, I just slept. But I set my alarm for 15 minutes. When I woke up 15 minutes, it was 3-2.
So miracles do happen. And to your question, Tane, the Moroccan team had not lost a home game in an international friendly in, I think, 16 years. They've won. They've won. And in sports, there's what's called the home court advantage. And the crowd, the familiarity with the weather, the ambience, the pitch, works oftentimes than not in favor of the host country or the host team. But I think the Nigerian Super Eagles team are coming in with more tenacity, right? I think Morocco has all to use. Whether is being in the north, they're used to playing in as opposed to Nigeria coming from the west side. So I think particularly the home field advantage would maybe help them a little bit, but the tenacity of the Super Eagles will definitely overshadow. Again, I'm not being biased here; it's just what it is. When you're at home, oftentimes you're relaxed. I know the pitch, I know the turf, I know the crowd is so loud. But there's a louder crowd in the minds of the Super Eagles. They know they know that they're here to redeem us being kicked out of the World Cup. Exactly. And so I think it's more personal, it's more internal for them. That the noise will be shut out. It'll be like fire in their bones, as the players feel. So yes, while home court advantage might work for the Moroccans, I think the Super Eagles will actually have their own home court advantage in their heads, and they would actually come out victorious.
Okay, I believe you. Femi, do you share the same views, or do you have choices?
All right.
I believe you.
Yes. I trust that they are prepared mentally because it's a mind game. If you lose the battle of the mind, you're done for. So they know that we are facing 12 people. The 11 people playing on the field and the 12th man, that's the crowd. Home advantage. So they will be prepared.
All right. Do you think, do you think the referee will be under pressure to stand with the host? How do you think referees handle matches like this when the stadium is filled up? By the way, they are going to beat the Algerians are going to beat the referee the last time. Do you think the referees will be under pressure?
Yes and no. That's why you have seasoned professionals to handle games like this. You talked about, my bros, they spoke about home court advantage. You'll have the 12th man. No matter where Nigeria plays in Africa, we are probably one of the loudest fans. There is. We will have the saxophone playing, people drumming, so we will have that presence. But yes, there will be pressure. If you look at everything, you need to look at the players that are playing on both teams, which is added pressure, even for the referee. Because you're looking at us, look at us, the Nigerian team. Inside that team, we have Owobi, Iwobi has played in a lot of pressurized games, both for his league team and the country. Victor Osimhen played in Italy, played in Turkey. Those fans there are not normal. They are not. So if you have guys that have played in those high pressure games, you need a referee that has reffed in those high pressure matches. So like you can balance the temperature of both teams that are playing on the field and also be able to like balance the whole field. Because the referee with one whistle can make this game the greatest game of all time. But also with one whistle can make this game the roughest game of all time. So like in games like this, you need to have a very good, tactically sound, emotionally balanced referee. That won't be that won't make the game about him. Will make the game about the play.
Do we know who's refereeing the game?
I didn't look that like.
Man, that is not what I'm worried about. Worried about referee. Whoever they have refereeing at the ref, let the boys play.
Yeah. Well, again, the world is very small. I don't think CAF will want to embarrass the entire continent, by playing. The world will see, and we are building. The other thing I see in this Afcon is that Africa is building, a profile, a different story of the continent.
True.
And so officiating and all of these things will count, and I don't think they will want something that will mess up the story they are trying to build.
And I speak to that for a second.
Sure.
Are you noticing that a lot of this is foreign countries actually speaking on the Afcon? Sure. They're talking about the referee. The ref has been very good. To be honest, the football has been very good. The stadiums have been very good.
Yeah.
The fans have been very good. So now they are now saying that why can't we see these games on like a bigger TV channel, just like the ESPNs? So I know that some of this Premier League fans are and guys that do the presenting Bondis are actually requesting the bigger TV stations.
But yeah, carry those games. So the MEUG, I'm sure you know that it's a business.
Yes,
It is.
It's a business, and so the powers that be that definitely are not making it happen. Fortunately, unfortunately, but it is a business, and a lot more, a lot more teams in the Premiership and foreign leagues actually, they get more money, and so there's more incentive to put them on the world stage. Hopefully, Africa gets to the place where we start seeing games like Afcon being on a global.
Yeah. And I can say something to that just right quickly. Could that be one of the reasons why, like, they're moving this competition instead of every 2 years to every
4 years?
And then there are heavy talks now that they want to move it to like around the same time they play the Euros.
Wow.
Yes.
That's another topic for that.
But why are you talking about money? Money has been thrown at the Nigerian team. I mean, the big man in Nigeria has offered, I think, $50,000 for each goal and $500,000 to the team should they win. If they move on to the final, then it moves to $1 million for the team and $100,000 for a goal. Is that a good news or bad news for the team?
Well, it's incentive, and I think it's welcome. It's welcome. We've seen other teams do that in previous competitions. So someone who is coming up to do that, it will boost their morale.
Yeah,
the kids.
Money is good. Money is good. Or money is good. I think.
So I mean, you're a historian and a custodian of the game, but money wasn't the case.
Of course.
I mean, you have very good friends like Coach Ade who never prayed for money. It was for national pride. So my problem with the money issue is it might get to a stage where the folks in the grassroots are not now playing for the love of the sports. They're now playing for monies. And then it's not as organic as, it's a good thing. I mean, I'm for it.
The world has moved on. In the 70s when Coach Ade, all those guys played, I mean, money was good. Money wasn't the thing. Right now, money is a big deal. The generation coming here, I don't care about.
It's not just even about that. Yeah. You see that money that was just a promise to them.
Yeah.
All these guys that played, Victor Obi has family members and friends that are looking at him like,
yes,
bros, How far we? When you win that, you see that money.
You gotta win it.
Yeah, I need a house. I need my car is bad. My mother is sick, and this goes for all these players. They need this money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Certainly.
Gone are those days where like we all play for the love of it.
Yeah.
That love has to be able to pay your bills and take care of the people around you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
So let me ask you a short, which is very unusual, but I'll go ahead and ask you, who's playing more from fear of failure? Would that be the Nigerian team, the Super Eagles, or the Moroccans?
Okay, I mean, there are many ways to approach that. An average Nigerian, whether it's soccer or anything, doesn't like to fail. We just, an average Nigerian is a fighter. That's why on the street of Lagos, if somebody is driving and somebody wants to overtake, you just so no, you're not going to speed me to that. So an average, so it doesn't matter what's going on. Nigeria really doesn't want to lose. Plus, Nigerians don't have give excuses for failure. We played well, but we didn't win. No, you cannot just go and win. So any day, any time. That's why the coaches of Nigeria's national team, the players are always under pressure. However, Morocco has not won in a while. They are the biggest, the highest ranking team, and so on and so forth. They will want to win. So I think Morocco will have bigger pressure because they are looking at their fans right there. We're going to have some Nigerian fans in the stadium, but it won't be like the Moroccans. So I think Morocco will be under more intense pressure. To be honest with you, truth be told, Nigerians didn't think Super Eagles will, play this good and get to the point where we now love them. So that in itself, takes away a little of the pressure that they will have. So to answer your question directly, I think Morocco will have more of the pressures to deal with than Nigerians. Now, Yemi,
Yes, sir.
2 West African countries, 2 North African countries. Let's talk about North Africans and West Africans, way of playing and the history between these two styles.
Yes.
Yeah, because we have 2 West Africans and 2 North Africans left.
So like if you watch this goes way back to years past and the 80s and then the 70s. Have you noticed that most of the Northern African countries are actually dominating?
Yeah.
Compared to the West. Is due to the work that they've done. They've done this behind the scenes into their grassroots football. If you go to a place like Morocco, I actually heard that now they are actively building fields and sporting centers.
Yeah.
Not just in Morocco. Morocco is motivating Algeria.
Algeria, yeah.
Right. And every one of them to have good soccer academies. The best CAF teams lately for the past 5 to 10 years has been from either Egypt. It's only lately now that South Africa won it. Zamalek's ASEC Mimosa, they're Cote d'Ivoire. Yeah. But like most of those northern clubs are actually producing the gems because they have adequate facilities and they've scouted well and they have good network and they have money. A lot of those teams are sponsored by private individuals, which is not what we have within the Western side of, because now it's more of the state and the federal government that runs some of these teams. No, but I haven't said that. If you look at it, and then it also reflects to like their style of play. Most of the northern countries, they play this flair type of football. There's much more samba to their game, expression. We used to have that in the western side, the likes of Ghana, the likes of Cameroon, the likes of Nigeria. We used to play with that flair. But now it has changed. We play the workman-like game. More like the German games of we're going to run you down, we're physical than you, we're bigger than you, and we will wear you down.
That's what been physical. West Africans have always been physical.
West Africans have always been physical, but one good thing about West Africans there was we were physical, but also
very intelligent at the ball. Yeah.
We were skillful, we were nimble, we had players. Yeah. Because then there was still money going into the game. But now the northern side, they are ahead. It's just what it is.
True.
So, and that shows with Morocco being like the best soccer country right now in this Africa by a mile. But that said, we need to look at the game like this. Morocco is playing on house money. Morocco can afford to lose. Why? Because the whole world is watching them. There's so much hype on Morocco. You just play 22, 23 games without losing. You don't want to lose the 7.
They were also in the World Cup semi-final.
And they were also in the World Cup semi-final. You can't afford to lose to a Nigerian team
Who is not good at
that
the World
has
Cup?
been going through a whole lot of this behind-the-scenes stuff. Most of the Nigerians that I spoke to are saying, man, we got to the semi-final, we're playing Morocco. If we lose, we are good. Because we're playing against the host country and the best country, soccer-wise, in Africa. So they are playing with house money. Nigeria is going into this game like, man, we got to the semi-final. We can beat these guys, but even though if we don't win, we lost to the host country, the best team in Africa.
Absolutely. Well, still talking about the West and and the North. I think it was in a couple of years edition ago that it was Egypt and Senegal. North versus West, and I think on that occasion, Senegal, beat Egypt. In that final, I think it was penalty shootout. And then they went on to play a playoff, World Cup playoffs. Again, Senegal beat them. So it was Mo Salah and Mane, because I think they were both in Liverpool at the time.
We were both in Liverpool.
So now, will it be a revenge time for Mo Salah in particular, Femi, in that match, the first semi-final tomorrow, when Egypt will face Senegal again, or is it going to be a repeat, another defeat of Egypt by Senegal? What do you think?
Well, I believe it's on a thin edge because obviously this will be Mo Salah's last Afcon. I don't believe
we're coming.
Come
I think so too.
to another edition. So he is going to give it all it takes. The team is ready. They are behind. Like we said earlier, they are playing to their strengths. Mo Salah, Mamouche. Every other person is doing the dirty work. Look, just make sure these guys can make things happen. But they should not think that Senegal have come to play. Senegal got to the semi-final. They are also a team that plays to their strength. They don't have, aside money, they don't have stars, as you would call them. So they know that we are limited in this capacity, but we play to our strengths. They work as a team. They work for each other. So it's a roll of the dice. It could go that way. Yeah, okay. I believe so.
Can I speak to that?
Of course, yes.
Quickly. I'll just say it as it is. Salah needs this game more than almost anybody else in this competition. Because Salah don't want to join the likes of Drogba. That's never won the Afcon.
Yeah.
Salah's coach has won 2 or 3 Afcons, I'm not sure. Hassan, he's considered the best striker in Egypt. I don't think that guy has won the Champions League. And he hasn't won the Premier League.
So he did something.
So Salah, for his heritage and for his status in Africa, Salah is almost considered the best striker to have ever come out of Africa. You can't be the best striker to have ever come out of Africa and not win at least the Afcon. At least win the Afcon. You've not won the highest. I don't think he has won the highest goal scorer in the Afcon. No, maybe he has or he has. I'm not sure. But he needs this Afcon to more like this and cement his status in Africa as one of the best. Now he's going against a guy called Victor Osimhen. Osimhen too needs this Afcon, because if Osimhen wins this Afcon,
well, Mo Salah will only meet Osimhen if we go to the final. Let's stay with Mane and Mo Salah. So what you said is Mo Salah we need is more than Mane.
He needs more than Mane because Mane has won the Afcon.
Yeah, true.
Mane has won the Afcon and Mane won the Champions League. So now, if you're looking at anything, if it's on records and things won, Mane has a better resume.
Okay.
So that's true. Salah needs this Afcon to at least say, yes, I am one of the top strikers.
Okay.
Medals to show.
Today, meet me, please, you will. Again, to you. Structure versus firepower.
Well, look, when you get to those
structure versus stars.
When you get to this, stage of the competition, the only thing that matters is victory. So if you have firepower and it can carry you through, then use it. If you have structure, it can carry you through, just use it. At this point, it's just a little margin between the two teams. One moment of magic, that's it. So whatever you have, bring it out. Let's bring it out and let it work for you. I get a W, and then you will be fine. But in my mind, which kind of is prompting the next question I wanted us to talk about. In my mind, I think the match between Morocco and Nigeria will be won by the coaches. The players will go there and do their best, but they both have, back to your question, I mean, Morocco is well structured, they're hungry. Nigeria have the firepower, they're hungry, maybe not as much as Morocco will want it. Like, we take something from the bench to outclass one another. And Yemi, let me start with you. You like talking tactics a lot. So, is there an X factor? First of all, we're going to agree that the role of the coaches will be great and enormous in this. And if you do, what do you think will be going on in the mind of the coaches, particularly Larry Michel, who had come this far in this tournament?
I don't want to lose. I can make my name in this competition by beating the host and the best team in Africa. Yes, you're right that the coaches can win these games. But when you get to the semi-final and the final of a knockout competition, it's not just on the coach. Mostly it's not even on the coach. It's on the star players. This is when your star rises. This is now the tournament. This is now the stage where your stars have to lift up banners. Okay,
I'm here.
You guys get on my back and I'll carry you guys to the promised land. This is now the time where we need this Victor Osimhen. This Morocco needs Diaz. They need this Hakimi. Those guys that have played to say, you know what, coach, you've done your job. Set us up all good. We're good. Got this. Now it's us to go beat these guys and win the games. So yes, the coach with the third eye, he has to have a third eye. You have to be able to watch the game within the game. You have to be able to manage the game within the game. Manage temperament, manage tempos, manage the flow of the game. If he's saying that Nigeria is dominating the flow more, he wants to stop that flow. How can he stop it? Switch his tactics. Should we be kicking the players more, or should we choke up the midfield and make sure they don't have outlets? If it's Nigeria, we're looking at, okay, yes, these are the host team. We're playing against a Moroccan team that has only conceded one goal. They have the best defensive structure in the game. Morocco is playing against Nigeria that has scored the highest amount of goals. So we are seeing great defense against great offense.
Okay, so what I have here on that, we are going to miss in the semi-final because it's suspended. No thanks to two yellow cards. More than likely, Rafael Onyedika will. And from what we have seen, I think Rafael Onyedika will be the natural person to take on. Is that a blessing in disguise, or what do you think?
It's not a blessing in disguise because we've seen that this NDD, whatever you want to say about the forwards, NDD has been that rock, that quiet leader in front of the defense that is speaking. He's always talking. Hey, come back, move forward. He reminds me of Sunday Olise. Hey, you right there. It's not with the way he plays. It's the way you stay, you go. He's like a game maker. And he has so much experience. He's played years. And he knows how great and how tough, this competition is. Yes, Onyedika will come. But this is where the experience of Owobi, I'm hoping Nwobi is switched on more so that I can form that good partnership he formed with Ndidi because they'll start the partnership. They're constantly talking. You are going too far. Come back. No, you go for it. We will miss that. Hopefully, Onyedika can provide that.
Well, talking about the Super Eagles team as well, Rafael Onyedika scored 2 goals when they played that Red Rubber game against Uganda, I believe it was. I think he had a different style of playing in the midfield, and I just have been calling for him, by the way, to be in the team, and that was why I thought it might be his game. In 1994, Emmanuel Amunike had not played any game until the final. and he came in and he was the joker, scored the 2 goals. Now this guy had been on the bench against all the call for him to be included and all of that. Do you think would make a difference in the midfield? That, and I agree with you on Ndidi. Ndidi have been phenomenal in that thing. When he was struggling with bonuses, he was ready to use his money to pay the bonus. Great leader. We're going to miss him certainly on the field. But I was just thinking that Rafael maybe brings something that is different and that may be needed in this semi-final. What do you think?
I believe that the coach knows who best to put in, but he's the most likely person to be introduced. But I believe that we have a team where we have round pegs in round holes. Yeah, that's one thing that has worked in our favor. So what I believe the coach will or might do is to ensure that he just puts in where it's most needed, and that's to fit in for Ndidi as the case is right now. With the right formation, which I believe he's been using, he's tried a variety of formations. But I trust that the coach will stick to the formation that gives us the best output. Because, like we've mentioned, Morocco has the best defense as we speak. We have the best attack. There's no reason why we diminish what is our strength because we are playing the host. If he brings Imi, which I believe he will, fingers crossed. If he brings him in, sit where Ndidi is. There might be a bit of variety, the goals, like I mentioned, but it will give us an extra edge. It provides something different. Whatever difference he provides, let's maximize it to hurt these guys. I think we can make it.
Can I say something to that real quick? It brought up a very, very good point in formation and tactics and all that stuff. Initially, Nigeria played with a 3-man defense. It's 3 centre-backs, wing-backs, central midfield, and attack. I won't be shocked if we see that again because without Ndidi, we are going to lose that defensive solidity. He is part of the defenders and stuff.
True.
You have Onyedika that like to box crash. So he's a box-to-box, but yes, Ndidi is different. Ndidi just sits there. So now, if it's box scratching, that is a lot on Owobi. So now I think, hey man, if you're box scratching, I better see.
Yes.
And they were playing against a Moroccan team that in the midfield to the attacking, they are lethal.
Yeah, and they can counter as well.
And counter as well. And the most vast one, they can carry the ball through the midfield. We're not talking about Brian Diaz, who is, in my opinion, is the best player in this competition. Maybe a little bit ahead of this Owobi. So now we might see a competition whereby like Owobi is looking at Diaz like, yeah, man, they said you're ahead of me and I'm second.
Yeah.
It's a game that we need to see. Or like, it's just like what you said now. It's not that I'm actually running it now and I'm saying that this might be a game that Nigeria needs to win. And the coach will play a huge part.
Hey, Lord.
Because if we don't take care of that in Ndidi's position there, get somebody who understands what to do there. It's a difference between us winning and losing.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not Rafael or Erika, who else? I think there's one Ebenezer guy that has just been brought in, you know. He played also, I forgot his last name now. It's if it's not Rafael taking that slot, who else in the team?
We can see a situation where, but like, it's probably this Onyedika that will play that position, but like maybe there's now a conversation that has to be had between the coach and him to let him know his responsibility.
Yeah.
And to understand that, again, we are playing against a very fluid, skillful midfield to attacking types of players where like you can't get carried away. If you go forward, make sure you have cover in those areas. So I think that will be fun.
And I think in addition to that, we at the semifinals, we might not be able to afford having a player who has not really featured prior to the game at this crucial stage.
At this crucial, yeah, that's very good.
I think all cards point to Onyedika.
I think
So you get fresh legs.
Yeah.
At first, you come off the bench.
Yeah.
But it's like,
This is not a case of this is not a case of 94 where I find I brought in my bros. This is high stake, and this is not a gamble. That
Well, the Meji, I mean, Nwabali has been a talking point for a while, and it took that careless yellow card in the, there's no reason for that yellow card in the quarterfinals when it was wasting time, and he had to be carded. It's also nursing some injuries that has been, Now, we do want an Nwabali that is 80% fit or less, or will you risk Uzo?
I think I would personally prefer Nwabali at this point. We know he is, let's assume 80% fit, but his I mean, he's had his flaws in this competition, no doubt, but he's still been the most consistent for us up until now. So I'll take my chances with Mwabawi. No, the issue though is there's some saves that he makes that I know we're watching the match together and like, why do you put yourself in harm's way, right? And so for me, it's just try to be healthy as much as you can. I think the defense, our defense players will actually try to cover him as much as they can. Through knowing where he is right now physically, I think our guys in the defensive side of the game will try to cover for him. So I think Wabali would for sure finish through this competition.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's not inside. She has the same views. But let's wrap things up. Do you want to see 2 West Africans in the final, 2 North Africans, or 1 North, 1 West?
And the way it is, I want to see whoever comes in. I just want Nigeria to be. But if you ask me, hopefully we win this game. I want to see. I would rather face Egypt than face
Senegal. Okay, very.
Well, we've had a North African flair. This will be our second match playing against a North African team. I think staying with Egypt might work in our favor because we are if we peradventure we are in the final and then Senegal wins, it's gonna be a whole different scenario. When you are playing a West African team, it's I don't know what.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah,
it's better we hopefully stick with.
Yeah, they will have then been Nigeria beating all the North Africans to get all the way. So from Tunisia to Algeria to Morocco and then Egypt. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, David, your phone. It's your phone time.
Amen to that. All right. Yeah, fun time predictions, and again, while we played Algeria, a few days ago, I think Tina, you and Yemi were closest, what the match outcome was. So, Femi, I'll start with you. Nigeria, Morocco.
I'll go 3-1.
3-1, of course.
In favor of Nigeria.
3-1 in favor of Nigeria. Yemi, the game starts very soon. Nigeria, Morocco.
My head says this Morocco will beat us, but my heart wants Nigeria to win. So I'm struggling between the head and the heart. So on this one, I'll go with my heart. Nigeria win 2-1.
2-1. All right. So Yemi says Nigeria 2-1. Femi says Nigeria 3-1. I say Nigeria 2-1. I say Nigeria 2-1. I don't think it's going to go to penalties. Tune, before I get to you, let's talk your predictions.
It's tough. It's very, very tough. But I think there will be goals. Because the strikers will, on both sides, will do everything.
Can there be goals where there's solid defense?
Yes, there will be goals. There will be mistakes. That's the thing. So when you're under pressure, you're likely to make mistakes. So I think both my head and my heart has to cooperate. It's been difficult for the two to cooperate, since these fixtures, came up. But I think I'll take a bold step and say 2-0. Just similar to, what happened with the Algerian match. I think Nigeria, they know how to rise to the occasion when it matters the most. I think Morocco will not be patient. They'll be in a hurry to do many things. Now, you don't play and Osimhen and make mistakes. So under pressure, because I think there'll be mistakes, Lukman can be very creative on his own. Akwadam has stepped up and shown us that he can score goals as well. Rafael Onyedika is a midfielder, but if you pull ball back to him in the box, he will bury it. So I think Nigeria will score 2 goals. The Rock right now is Kevin Bassey. He's done so very well. Semeja is quiet, but covers him properly. We've seen a lot from Bruno and Bright. I think they will hold their own. I'm hoping that they can cover and shield Nwabali very well. So I would take a bold one, a very bold one, and say 2-0.
2-0. All right, not too far from 3-1. Yeah. I do have a question. I'm sure to go to. A question for you.
Sure.
For you. Quick. Basi, Ajayi, Uche, Okechukwu, Westhoff. Are you seeing any?
Okechukwu
Uche Okechukwu, Taribo West.
Taribo West wanted to say, okay.
Yes. Ajayi Basi.
Yeah, they killed.
Any similarity?
Very, I mean, we called Uche Okechukwu Gentle Giant.
And that's Ajayi.
That's Ajayi. Yeah, Gentle Giant. And then, here you go. Basi is Taribo West. Pretty similar. Pretty similar. Absolutely.
All right, folks. We hope you truly enjoy our analysis. Again, may the best team win, but our prayer here is that the Super Eagles will win. Again, one of my, if not the most impactful segment of the show for me is just hearing from Adetunde here about life experiences. Tunde, you're a pastor, you're a coach, you're a father, you're a mentor. To many people, you are many things, but particularly to the audience today, I want to pose this question to you, and they're two in one. How do you stay consistent in the journey of life when it gets tiring? That's one. And the other one is, how do you win in your mind before you win in reality? Because I'll take this back. I mean, both teams, I want to assume that they're winning in their minds already. They've got to come out with a win mindset. But how do we practically in life? You teach in, this past week and the service at church, you talked about watching your mouth, right? Watching what you profess, what you confess. And also it starts from the heart. So how do you win in your mind before you win in reality? And how do you stay consistent when the journey of life gets tiring sometimes?
One word, believe. So when David got to the camp, the brother Eliab said, "What are you doing here? What excited? Who did you leave the ship with? You're just so arrogant." And he said, "Is that not a cause? Is that not a reason for me to be here?" Then he has a question. What will be given to the man who kills this fellow? And then they told him, said, "In that case, I want to go and fight him." When the king had King Saul, said, "This young boy, call him." He said, No, you can't. You're a young boy. This guy is a veteran. You cannot. And then he said, "Let me tell you my story. When the lion came, I killed him. The bear came, I killed him. I will kill this one." David, nobody believed in David, but David believed himself. But in believing himself, is believing in God who backs him. God, he said, "I'm going to go against him in the name of the Lord." There's nothing you can do to stop a man that believes. You have to believe that this is possible. And that's why I tell people, the lion is not the fastest. It's not the tallest. It's not the strongest.
Not the biggest.
Not the biggest. But it's the king of the jungle. Because the lion believes that any animal that comes is meat. And he goes for it. So I tell people, and for our listeners listening, believe. It's another year, 2026. Believe that this is your year of great achievements and accomplishments, and work at it. Now, David didn't just believe. He was ready, because when the battle was then set, he moved very quickly towards the enemy. He wasn't dragging. He moved quickly. And the battle that should have probably lasted a whole day lasted 1 minute. He had 5 stones. He shot only one, and it was over. He didn't have a sword with him, but he threw the sword of the enemy and cut off the head. But the whole thing started with belief. Eliab, his brother, did not believe in him. The people did not believe. The king did not believe. But he believed in himself. And he won the battle against Goliath. So yes, believe is the key word.
Wow. Thank you very much, Tunde.
Most welcome. Well, you must subscribe. I'm sure by now, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so, the King's Palace TV. And then, of course, all our other social handles. We really want you to be part of this community. We discuss anything that could make life better for anyone, from Bible studies to amazing Sunday service sermons, and then to every other thing like sports. Will come your way definitely in the final. It'll be something, greater than you have seen before. I want to thank you for being part of the show today. Till we see you again, God bless you. And continue to believe. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Yemi. Thanks so much.